Hey, what's good everybody? It's cjbeatz. We're back at it again today. Today we're going to make a beat in Logic Pro X using Regroover Pro from Accusonus. Accusonus reached out to me and said, hey CJ, we really like what you're doing on YouTube. Would you be willing to, try out some of our stuff? I said, absolutely. So they sent me over a license for Regroover and we're going to jump right into it. So Regroover is a sample manipulation virtual instrument. And what it can do is basically detect using artificial intelligence different notes and different tones within a sample and then layer them out in these layers right here. It's technically meant for, importing like drum samples or drum loops that contain anything from a kick to a snare. It will then detect each of those instruments or drums and then, basically put them into different layers. The way I understand it is this artificial intelligence picks up different frequencies and then, uses that information to put the sounds, the individual sounds on these different layers. I thought I'm going to, for this tutorial, take a step further and we are going to drag in a drum loop into this a little later on. But first what I wanted to try is actually drop in a melodic sample and see what it does. So let's get right into it. I'm going to drop in a sample. I already set my BPM to 151. Found the sample that I'm going to use for this. This sample's coming from a sample loops and MIDI kit off of frequency.com, which is called Keys on Fire. I'll put a link in the description for that if you guys want to check that out. And we'll go ahead and just drag the sample right in. It's going to first analyze it. Took that sample and broke it down into 4 distinct layers. It looks like this layer doesn't have much, but these 3 do. So the next thing I like to do is sync it up with my BPM. So I'm going to hit sync. All right, cool. So we're pretty much done with that. Now let's go ahead and solo out these individual layers and listen to them. This is what the original sample sounds like, by the way. Okay, let's solo out this one here. Oh, you heard that? It's very faint, but it's almost like it sounds like a clock. Just that part right there. So you could double click this area so you could select different areas like this. And if you hover on the bottom end, it will, this waveform will appear. You can click and then just drag it right into your DAW like that. This works on PCs. PCs, Macs, whatever you want to use it in. So I could like normalize this. So I'm gonna bounce it in place. Let's normalize it so we get the little louder volume of it. Mute that track. That's crazy. You could just like loop that. All right, I'll keep that for later. All right, let's work inside of Regroover a little bit here. So I'm going to unsolo this here. Let's pause that. And what I'm going to do now is just select these different waveforms and then drag them into their expansion kit over here. So you can actually like take portions and parts and snip them out and then put them onto these pads. And then these pads can be played back, using your MIDI drum machine, your MIDI keyboard, whatever. So same thing, I'm going to click and drag it right like so. Just bring that guy over here. Try that one more time. The bar's got to go the full way and then like that. Okay, let's try this over here. I'm just going to take some random stuff, drop it in here. We'll manipulate it a little more. Maybe we can even reverse some samples or something. We'll see. All right, let's see what we got over here. Doesn't have to be exact right now because you can go into the editor in a second and then, mess around with it a little more. Up here you have like analysis. So after you drag the sample in, you can actually make it into more layers if you want. So we could say, maybe I'll select this one here, hit split. Okay, So up here you have your analysis. So after you drag the sample in, you could split into more layers, and you could set the activity to either lower or higher. So it'll become more sensitive or less sensitive to to the sounds, and split them up even more. But I think for this tutorial, like the 4 layers is fine. But just to give you an idea, you have effects over here too: gate, EQ, compression, saturation. So you can mess around with that. But let me see what else we could do here. I'm just hyped. I want to try this out so bad. See what we can come up with. All right, let's drag that over here. And I think that's a good start. So this starts at C5 on my keyboard, so I can play this back. All right, cool. So now let's go into our editor over here. Now we can see these individual waves, and we can like get a little more accurate with it. That's kind of dope. All right, let's try this one here. So that one sounds like this one, so maybe this one could be reversed. So I'm just going to hit reverse right here like so. And I could have the start and stop come in a little bit earlier. Yeah, it's fire. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right, cool. So that's pretty much done. Let's go ahead and rock out to this a little bit, and we'll keep the same BPM. And I'm just gonna play my these samples on the keyboard, and we'll see what we can do here. All right, that's fire. Okay, I'm going to bring in another software instrument now. Bring in another instance of Regroover. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick out a drum break here that Regroover is going to analyze and then break down into different drum sounds. I like those sounds. Let's drag that in. That was really quick. Let's sync it up. Cool. So let's use some of these sounds here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll drag them into these separate locations like so. And then we can replay the drums the way we want them to, to be. But it's dope to be just able to come in here and take what you want from that drum loop. And let's solo this one out. See. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could even like take that, drag it under here. And we could time stretch this now to like 1 bar. Sounds kind of crazy, but if we use an EQ maybe on it, and just, minimize what we hear from that sample. All right, cool. So let's see here. Let's go back to that second Regroover instance. All right, so we got some kicks there, and vinyl sounding kicks. What do we got over here? Let's solo that out. So that's sort of like a snare, Could drop the snare over here. Maybe use a couple of them. Okay. And what do we got over here? Alright, so maybe this we could also time stretch, so I'm gonna use that entire part, drag it over here like this. Select my 1 bar loop and time stretch. Yes. Okay, let's go to the editor here. Let's reverse this one. Okay, so let's record a 4 bar loop with those the drums. Alright, cool. I'm gonna loop this hi-hat too. Okay, and we gotta quantize that drum pattern we just recorded. Came in kind of late. Command A, and let's go ahead and up all those volumes. Make sure you're on note velocity and then bring them all up. Alright, so that was a quick tutorial on Regroover. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. If you have any questions about Regroover or anything in this video, please be sure to put that in the comments section. I'll put a link in the description for you guys to be able to go check out Regroover on its own. There's tons more videos on this, so I just want to raise some awareness about it. So thank you so much, Accusonus, for letting me try this out and showing what Regroover can actually do. If you guys want to support me and what I do, go check out frequency.com. Put a link in the description for that also. Don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 50,000. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button, so anytime we put out a new video, you guys are notified. I really, really appreciate your time. My name's CJ, and I'm out for now. Peace.